This is the Amazing Musings podcast. This is Bill Wong and my co-host,
Beverly McDowell.
There you go. What will this podcast be? We're going to be real and authentic. We're going to talk about everyday issues that are going on in life. We're going to talk about 3 things today: how we met, why we're doing this, and who we are. Okay? Are we good?
I'm good with that.
Okay. So, how we met. I met Miss Beverly at the rec probably about, I want to say 6 or 7 months ago, or maybe a little longer.
Yes, we've been tripping and having a great time since
immediately
then.
We had a connection.
Exactly.
Immediately.
It was immediate.
So you felt it. You felt that spark, right?
I felt it because you were so fun. You know, you were funny and, you know, you made it very easy to talk with you. You know, that's what was really wonderful about you.
I went to a comedy club with one of my friends. He's 23 years old and his girlfriend is 26 or 7. And I asked her, give me one word to describe Bill. And I was like, oh boy, I shouldn't have asked this question. You know what her word was?
What?
Charisma. Charismatic. And I'm like, girl, what have you had to drink? Girl, what is wrong with you?
What is it? Come on, you can tell me.
No, I was like, seriously, charismatic? Really? I don't think so. So I pick up lunch at the rec. Now, I just got barred.
Yes, you did. You and about 6 million other people.
Right. I got barred because I was taking out, I don't know if we should say the name. What is it? Meals on Wheels. Is that what that was? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay. I got barred because I was taking my lunch out. I was not socializing, but evidently I was socializing because we're doing a podcast together. So I don't want to go there, but I think that's a problem. I was socializing. How would I know you to do a podcast if I wasn't socializing?
But we were socializing with each other because of the fact that I spotted you because you were so much fun, and
cute.
Yeah, really cute.
And charismatic.
And charismatic. You have so much going for you. Yeah. And you made it easy for me to talk with you because when I find a person like that, it makes me open and feeling good about it. Feeling good about talking to the person because the person invites me in. And when I get in, it's crazy time for me. Okay?
As I've gotten older, I felt I have become more comfortable with myself, where I am okay with who I am, and in some ways, and we talked about this before, I care but I don't care what you think, and this is who I am, and if this isn't a type of person that you like, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that because you have the ability to say, I don't like this person, I'm going to close the door, but I'm very comfortable with who I am as a person. So if you don't like me, that's okay. I don't mind.
You know what? That's a part of growing up because when you feel that way, it's because you've become associated with yourself, who you are, and that's what makes it so beautiful. I've learned that with me because I was giving in to everything that happened to me and taking it in and associating with my life. And I said, but that's not my life. And I was feeling really bad about things that were being said to me because I couldn't say anything back to them.
So when you said that wasn't your life, you're saying you were being unauthentic and you weren't being yourself.
Exactly. Because the thing about it is, if they didn't like me or didn't care for me, they would say something, and I would authenticate it with me saying, well, but it's okay, I like you and blah 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 blah.
But sometimes it's better that so they wouldn't say anything, or they would say something.
They would.
So they would. So at least that's an honesty that they would say something.
You're right.
So that's in some ways a good thing. What might they say?
Gosh,
I'll put you on the spot, aren't I?
You did put me on the spot because I'm thinking. I said, what would they say? Like, you should dress differently. You look so much better if you had this on or that on. And I would say, well, I thought I was associating myself, I thought everything was matching. And I said, that's how I am. They say, well,
what are these girlfriends or guy friends would say this?
It was girlfriends.
Okay. See, all my friends have given up already on me, where I am wearing right now a blue and sort of a gray kind of thing, and people really know, and my hair is actually semi-okay, but people have given up on me. So no one says that because they're like, yeah, it's Bill, so we're not going to say anything.
Well, then you would have to be associated with me. I would have to be associated with you so we could both like each other, for the way we are. And I wasn't getting that, I was always feeling a little less, a part of something, a part of the person. And I said, why do I, later on in life, I asked myself, why do I want to be a part of this person? And I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they look.
So did you say to yourself, I need to get new friends? Is that where you're going? No, seriously.
Seriously.
So you thought to yourself, I need to get new friends who are more supportive.
Yes, I wanted more friends who were more supportive.
As opposed to criticizing you
exactly,
about how you're
criticizing me. Because I had a friend, and she's not with me anymore. She passed away. Okay. But she was beautiful. She was honest with me. We were honest with each other. If she had a problem with me, she would say, Beverly, you should express yourself better. You could do this.
I just gave her the motion to talk louder, and she looked at me like, oh. Like, what are you talking about?
He was spreading his fingers like,
whoa. Little debate. I said, evidently, it did not work out.
I had the best friend ever because she expressed herself. And that made it so beautiful to talk with her because she was honest with the way she was about me. And we became so close because of this. And if I had a situation with her, she allowed me, well, not allowed me, but she listened to me. And I expressed myself with her.
Friendships are two-way. It has to be an honesty
Absolutely.
to the person, and the person willing to accept the feedback and say, oh, yeah, I understand. And you have the ability to take it in and make adjustments as you see fit. Say if it is a little bit off base, you have that ability, and that's what friends are all about. So it's a combination of me giving, you receiving, but also giving back. So it's a two-way street, and I think a lot of people get friendships a little crosswise.
Really?
I think so.
Really? I think so too. But knew her for so long, ever since her daughter was 2 years old. And I knew her for over 50 years. That was so astonishing. We became not only friends, but we became sisters.
Nice.
And we would express ourselves, we would argue and everything. I tell you.
Good arguments, though.
Great arguments, because when she felt something and she knew it didn't apply to me, she would let me know. She would tell me. Like, for instance, I wanted to go to a party with her, and she knew the party was going to be great. And she said, oh, I want you to be there. But then she called me and said,
I don't want you there.
Exactly.
No, really? She called up and said, I don't want you there now?
No, she didn't say she didn't want me there. She said, I just don't think it would be a good thing for you to be there. And I said, why? She says, well, the thing about it is, your ex-husband is going to be there. And I know you don't want to associate.
Oh, your ex-husband was going to be there.
My ex-husband was going to be there.
So she was looking out for you. It wasn't a slight. That's a good thing.
He was invited. I didn't know he was invited. I don't think it's a good idea. You be there if you're feeling, what you're feeling for him. And she said, how do you feel about that? I said, you're right.
But would there have been food and drink there?
Yes.
You could easily take the dip and accidentally pour it on his head. No, that's a thing. Or maybe drinks. Oh, moving, you make a quick turn, and oh, sorry, I just poured that on you. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
No.
Right? So if there's food and drink there,
I mean, I could do that, but the thing about it is I would be associating. I would be associating with him. Because
okay.
I would have to think about that, and I would do it. I said, well, I'm supposed to be away from him.
I understand. Okay, so you want to be separate. I understand.
Exactly.
So that's probably not a good idea.
If
my
I'm
way of solving things
if
is
I'm
not good.
concentrating on him, then that's what I'm doing the whole time I'm at the party. I said, then I want him to know I'm there.
Right.
He wanted to like me. I said, no, I don't want it that way. And she knew that.
Nice.
That was the beauty part about it.
So she is a sister.
She
was a sister.
She was a sister to me.
Yes.
And this was her brother. I was married to her brother.
The story gets deeper, right?
Yes, I was married to her brother, and she knew how we felt. She knew how I felt about him because he was a slug, and he.
Did you say he was a slug?
Oh, I didn't mean to say slug. He was. Yeah, I meant to say slug.
Okay.
Anyway, are you listening? Anyway, so no. The thing about it is, she knew about him. She was the one. When I first met him, she said it wouldn't be a good idea
to go out.
To associate myself with him.
Okay.
When I first met him, she said,
it's amazing how the world changes, right?
It is amazing. She looked at me that day. I said, oh, I like him. What do you think? Would you think he'd like me? She said, I hate to do this. I hate to say this, but I don't think it's a good idea.
She said that. So she knew before you knew.
She knew before I did. And let me tell you, she was right.
She was right.
She was right
and
all along.
How many years did it take you to realize that she was right?
I mean,
seriously,
it took me 50 years.
So it took her maybe 1 or 2 days.
No, she
right? Was it 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 weeks?
Wait a minute. I knew she was right because
took you 50 years, took you like 2 weeks.
50 years, of course. Right. But we had been married for like 12 years or something like that.
Right.
And I told her, you know what? All along,
you were right.
You were right. I said, I'm really sorry. She says, no, you needed to find out for yourself.
Said, I like her.
She was amazing.
I like her.
She said, I talked to you and I mentioned it to you and I told you he was a slug. But you know what?
You need to figure it out
She said
yourself.
He was in love with his first, And the thing about it is, she said, I knew the first one. And so I just wanted you to, She says, but it's left up to you.
Yep. How many times in life does it take? It takes us a long time to figure it out.
Exactly.
Yep.
It was
wonderful.
Amazing. I told her that one day, I said, you were right all along. She said,
50 years.
But, she said, but I wanted you to figure it out for yourself.
Yep.
That
Wisdom.
was a wonderful friend.
Wisdom.
I miss her today.
Yep.
I miss her always because she was not only my sister, but she was a wonderful person. And she taught me so much as we grew up together.
We're going to talk about that in another episode.
Exactly.
I'm going to move on because
Okay.
you said you're getting a little bit hungry.
Exactly.
Why are you doing this? Now, a strange guy, me, comes up to you and say, hey, you want to do a podcast? And you said, we talked last week. Was it last week? Was it last week?
Yeah.
I think it was last
something
week.
like that.
So it's like,
why
do
I
you want
said
to
2
do
weeks
this?
ago.
Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do a podcast? What's your why? Don't give me that face, girl.
Wait.
Do not give me that face.
Well, I thought I would get my feelings out there and for someone to hear what I had to say. I think all these years I've been wanting to speak what was on my mind and how I felt about things. And I never get a chance
I gave
to do that. I
ladder.
never got a chance to do that.
Okay. So this is your chance to speak, to
Exactly,
have a voice, because
to really-
you feel like you have something you want to say. And what has kept you from having a voice?
Well, the reason why is because no one listened to what I was saying. Nobody listened to me.
How do you know?
Because the thing about it is when I started talking, they would talk over me. And that's why I was talking about my girlfriend. She listened to what I had to say.
Okay. I understand. So we have a chance to have a voice, and I'll be honest with you, I have the same feelings too, where I am a person of color, and I never thought I had anything to say, so that's partially on me. But now I realize I do have stuff to say, and I think there's value, so I want to express myself, because and if someone speaks over me, that's fine, but if I don't even speak, that's on me. So I don't want this to be on me anymore. At least if I say something, they're trying to speak over me. So we have the same attitude of our why, wanting and believing we have something to say, so we're going to say it. So that's what our podcast is going to be. It's going to be about two people just talking about stuff that we want to talk about, that we believe has value, and we hope people listen. We hope people don't talk over us. We hope it will start a conversation of things that are important, because I think there's a lot of, I don't want to use the word pollution, but I think there's a lot of non-positives in the world, not only with social media, people talking about things, people saying things that aren't helping the situation. That bothers me. That annoys me and sometimes makes me a little bit angry. So that's what our podcast is going to be. Two people talking about trying to, one, expressing themselves, having a voice, and then two, sharing it with other people. So did you want to say something?
No, I hear you, because the thing about it is exactly how I feel, because I never get an opportunity to express myself. And when I start to do that, someone's talking over me, and I didn't understand it, and I still don't understand it because it still happens. So this is an opportunity to bleed and tell you how I feel.
So the mental note is Bill cannot talk over Beverly.
Bill cannot talk over Beverly.
Otherwise, I'll get swatted in the back of the head.
Because I've been had that happen to me for so long, and I don't want it to happen anymore.
I will do my utmost not to do that. No, but
I know,
but it's not. But that is not. See, unfortunately, that's not my way of doing things. I want people to, even with with another show that I produced the other day. Some of the comments came back like, "Oh, how come Bill didn't talk or say anything?" It's because I'm trying to give other people an opportunity. And if I'm quote unquote moderating, I don't want to take up the whole conversation, and other people have other things to say. So I don't want to do that. So I won't. So we'll see what happens.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me. I understand that. You're giving a person a chance to talk, you listen, and then they listen to you. That's very important.
Absolutely. And that's
very important.
And that's what we're going to try to do.
You're not talking over them. You're listening, and they should listen too. Share in the conversation. That's what I'm missing a lot of times. And I have to find myself closing off, because the person is like, okay, hurry up and do it so I can do it. I said, you can always tell when a person's eyes start shifting back and forth. I said, oh, here we go. They're not listening to me.
So that's going to be my promise. I'm going to listen, but also I'm going to say something, and we're going to talk about, we're going to get real, and we're going to be authentic, and we're going to talk about real issues rather than some of the things that I think we're talking about today.
Thank you,
okay.
Because I I know you're listening. You're hearing me, and that's what makes it wonderful.
This is the intro episode for Amazing Musings. podcast. This is Bill Wong with his co-host,
Beverly McDowell.
and we're gonna get real and be real. Thank you.
Thank you.